Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council.
Good Thursday morning, Jonesboro. This is meteorologist Tim Root with your KLEK 102.5 forecast. A blend of sun and clouds today in the mid-40s, light southwest winds. A chance of flurries tonight, mostly cloudy, then clearing by Friday morning. Overnight temperature upper teens and low 20s. Partly sunny skies expected Friday in the low 30s. Saturday mostly cloudy in the low 40s. And Sunday partly to mostly sunny about 45. Jonesboro's community radio station, we're KLEK 102.5 FM.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Moscow says foreign powers recognizing opposition leader Juan Guaido as interim president of Venezuela are violating international law. President Trump says he won't deliver his State of the Union speech until after the US government shutdowns ended. 10 candidates from France's Yellow Vest movement will stand in the European parliamentary elections in May, and UK Prime Minister Theresa May has been meeting union officials as she tries to build support for an updated Brexit plan.
It's 9:01.
KLEK LP Jonesboro, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council. It's now time for Community Conversations, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place, while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the voice of Arkansas Minority Advocacy Council, or our underwriters or sponsors.
KLEK 102.5 FM, good morning to you on your Thursday. This is January 24th, 2019. This is Community Conversations. Kato Wonder is in the studio with you, filling in for Quabila, who is not here today, but I'm here, and joining me is Mrs. Shunquetta Cunningham and Mrs. Candace Brooks, and they're going to be talking about a whole bunch of things that are going on, especially for the female minority business owners going on out there. They're going to be talking about Over a Cup, which is something that they do each and every month for female entrepreneurs to get together, and then we're going to be talking about the upcoming nonprofit summit that is going to have a lot of information that will help all of our nonprofits in the area. So we definitely want to thank these ladies for stopping by the studio today. How y'all doing this morning?
Great, thank you for having me.
And of course, if you're watching on our Facebook live feed, we have someone else joining us. We have Sanford Cunningham the third, right?
The fourth.
Sanford Cunningham the fourth, who is making his DJ debut. And how old is little Sanford?
3 months.
3 months. So he's actually not looking at the camera. A little bit camera shy. But if you're watching on our live feed, oh, there you go. You can now see him on it. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get into today's discussion. We've got Over a Cup, which is coming up this Saturday, January 26, 2019, from 8 to 9 a.m. It's going to be taking place at Starbucks, the one on Southwest Drive. That's right next to the McDonald's. Of course, Over a Cup is held every fourth Saturday, and it's just, well, I'll just let you put in your own words what you all are going to be doing.
Okay, great. So Happy New Year to everyone, and I'm excited about Over a Cup because this is year one of starting this from last January 2018. So the purpose of Over a Cup is to literally gather for a cup of coffee with other minority entrepreneurs in the area, particularly women, exclusively women, and it's just an opportunity for us to discuss business practices, give advice to one another. I tell people all the time, I am no expert. It was just on my heart to just start this conversation, and one of the first people, and that's a great supporter, is now will be partnering with me on some things, particularly now trying to get together the directory so that we can have a directory of women business owners here.
I need a copy of that.
We're starting that now. So when we come, she's Miss Candace Brooks, she will be handling that. So, and she's here, and I'm thankful for her. So yeah, please come out if you are an entrepreneur or even just aspire to be, in the mix with other great women and to have great conversation for an hour. You can't go wrong with that.
Now, you mentioned that you have been doing Over a Cup for a year. So what are some things that you have observed over the past year? Some of the things that have worked, some things that didn't work, what kind of feedback that you've gotten, and the connections that you've been able to make and the networking that's taken place?
Well, it's so funny. Actually, Candace and I met last week just to talk about this. Where do we want to go from here? We've been just meeting for an hour on the fourth Saturday, but now just wanting for a new phase of growth. Some of the great things, the positives, I think, just about meeting new people, hearing about new businesses that are in the city that I wasn't even aware of. I think those are the positives. And then just being able to have an open conversation, because again, we can go to different workshops, and the things that African American women have problems with, like access to capital, just about how we have to oversell our businesses just to make an impression, because they're not so readily receptive to other, communities and patrons. It's just that a lot of people don't understand those dynamics, so we get to, just share that conversation honestly. But Candace, you can jump in.
It's been beneficial to me because it's good to be able to talk to other women about the same, not necessarily issues, but just obstacles that you may overcome, and just being able to be around like-minded individuals or women that are going through the same thing, and just being able to share those ideas. It's been a breath of fresh air for me, and it's just been it's been an overall positive experience. I looking forward to going to there, and I just feel refreshed afterwards, and I'm ready to put my next idea out there and just sharing it with them and getting feedback and just best practices for businesses. I love it, and I look forward to it every month. All
right, now I know the purpose of Over a Cup is for ladies to come together to network and talk business, but do y'all ever just have girl talk?
But you don't know those conversations though.
Yeah.
Well, I wasn't gonna ask.
It's woven in there.
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna ask what the content of those conversations were.
Yeah.
But the purpose of me asking that is that, sometimes you may have somebody that may want to come and just, may want to vent, about what's going on in their life. Just, need a receptive ear. They may not even necessarily be business related.
That happens. I mean, as you can see, especially the road to entrepreneurship. Here it is that you all see. I have my 3-month-old son with me. The realities of that, being an entrepreneur and still having to take care of your priorities with your children, your marriage, your families, that doesn't go away. And so that's often mingled in. It's not exclusive to one another, being an entrepreneur and being a wife and mother. So you have to, and that gets frustrating. And we do have those powwow moments. We're here for you. You can do this. Great question. But yeah, we do have those moments.
And again, if you want to join in, it is the monthly Over a Cup meeting. It's going to take place this Saturday, January 26th, 2019, from 8 o'clock a.m. until 9 o'clock a.m. at the Starbucks on Southwest Drive. That's on the corner of Highland and Southwest, right next to the McDonald's there. They do this every fourth Saturday. And of course, if you want more information, Shunquetta's number is 870-336-6771. Again, that phone number is 870-336-6771. All right, so
and I want to encourage everyone to I tell them at the meetings all the time, usually I'm going to get some people inboxing and saying, I really want to come, but I don't want to share my idea. I don't want anyone to take my idea, and I tell them I really regret that they feel like that, because that's one of the misconceptions I think about the sisterhood, I should say, of women being a minority woman entrepreneur, that you're the only one doing this, or that people are not going to be supportive. And that's the whole purpose of Over a Cup, to let you know that there are women here that are in need of help and that will want to give help, and that's what we're here for. So if you all are hesitant about coming or sharing your idea, just even come just to listen, and just get the atmosphere. And I think once you're there, you're going to see, like Candace was saying, it is a breath of fresh air. They're going through the same things. They're staying up all night crying too. Is it going to work? And they're not getting any sleep either. You're not alone.
Alrighty. And of course, we are speaking with Mrs. Shunquetta Cunningham and Mrs. Candace Brooks, talking about the 2019 Over a Cup. Is going to be the first one of 2019. If you have a question or a comment for either of these ladies, you can give us a call at 870-277-1080. Again, the phone number is 870-277-1080. Or you can leave your questions and your comments on our Facebook Live feed. And Kubila has a question, so we're going to go ahead and get right into it. She asks, over the year, what has been some of the most impactful stories or moments for you and your attendees? And shout out to Sanford the Fourth, who just jumped on the mic.
Yeah, forgive my baby.
That's all right.
You
That's
want
all right.
to answer or?
I'll say for me, the most impactful is being able to network with other women, and as Shunquetta mentioned about, you have the same struggles. Because first of all, for me, I'm married, so my first priority is my husband, and then it's my children. And so on Saturdays, that's our day of being at home, and so just being able to get away for that hour has just been just a godsend for me. And so the most impact for me is just meeting with other women who are going through the same struggles. Like Shunquetta mentioned, I'm tired. I'm not getting any rest, but I'm here and I'm ready to share some ideas, and I'm ready to get refreshed. So I wouldn't say a specific moment for me. It was just overall just being able to look forward to that every month and coming back with a new sense of purpose.
Alrighty. Okay, Candace, I want to go back to something that Shunquetta said. I'm actually going to pick on you for this one because you are a realtor. Shunquetta mentioned earlier that there were some people that are afraid to come because, they don't want people to steal their ideas, but obviously in your case, there are a lot of realtors. There's even a lot of African American realtors around. So what would you say to them, if somebody comes and, they're in the same field as you, to encourage them, don't see me as a competitor, but as a compatriot?
Well, I'd say that there's no one else like you. There's only one Candace. There's only one other, whoever comes, there's only one you. So yes, we do have a lot of realtors in town, but that doesn't mean that everyone can't benefit from being in the community, because everyone has something different to offer. So for me, I'd say that my personality, my experience, and different things that I have in common with some other clients, no one else may be able to offer that. And I don't view them as my competition. I view them as, like you said, my compatriots, because if it's something that they're not going to be able to relate to with me, I can refer them to someone else. Look, this is going to be a relationship that needs to work for both of us, and so if I need to refer you to someone else, I don't mind to do that, because it's a relationship-based business. And so I would encourage you to still come out, because there's no one like you.
And of course, there's so many houses for sale. One person can't sell them all. Anyway,
Exactly.
getting back to the Facebook Live feed, got a Facebook shout out to Crystal Johnson. And then Quabila asks, do you foster developing this into a published book teaching model for other women leaders to use in other communities? In other words, could this be scaled and used for other communities? It could be like over a cup Blytheville, over a cup Helena, or over a cup Memphis.
Actually, that's an excellent question, Quabila, because I've actually talked with someone. We're going to host the first Over a Cup in Blytheville in February, next month. So that, again, talking about the scalability of what we want to do and how this should grow, that's definitely been on the agenda. As far as a book it's concerned, I won't go there. I don't think so. But I will say, though, that this year there's going to be a greater intentionality of really the leadership development side. Mm-hmm. So Candace and I met just talking about some things, of taxes, of how to get some of these business perks, just even about structure and the certain registering so we can get federal contracts. I was blessed to do that last year with my business, just about attending some workshops and being able to now to register to get some state and government contracts to work, for my business as a consultant. And those are the things that I want to bring for this year, and having some workshops around that. So outside of, we're still going to have a cup of coffee, but again, more intentional learning. And all of that, I'm not, again, no expert, just so that's going to have require me going out and getting other people to come in and facilitate those conversations as well. So yeah, we're definitely going to be growing and on the move this year. And
picking up on that, you also foresee there being offline communication between the meetings, like a group message or a group me or maybe a closed Facebook group or something, to where the conversations could keep going even when you all are not physically
That's
together.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. Yeah. So I like that. I like that. Yeah, I can't. Yeah, I really do love that. I think the closed Facebook group is really feasible.
Yeah.
I love that. So you might see that just within the next couple of weeks then.
All right, well, happy to have inspired that idea. We are speaking with Mrs. Shunquetta Cunningham and Mrs. Candace Brooks. They are talking about Over a Cup, the monthly gathering that connects minority women entrepreneurs, where business strategies are shared, and the purpose is to create economic impact. And it's going to take place this Saturday, January 26, 2019, from 8 to 9 a.m. at the Starbucks on Southwest Drive. That's on the corner of Southwest and Highland, right next to McDonald's. They do this every fourth Saturday. And, of course, if you need more information, you can contact Shunquetta at 870-336-6771. Again, that phone number is 870-336-6771. Now, I want to ask something Shunquetta said a long time ago that still sticks with me to this day. You said that one of the problems in the minority community is that because we do not have access to the same resources as others, there's a smaller pot, and because of that, I think it's the natural survivalist instinct that we end up fighting, over this much smaller pot, instead of pursuing the bigger pot, and that's something that kind of trips minority businesses up. And it kind of ties back in what you said earlier about people being afraid to share ideas. So how do we get past that mentality and focus on trying to get a piece of the bigger pot instead of fighting over the small pot?
So I'm sorry, I'm trying to. Y'all, Junior is. I know he's the
tying
fourth, and he's not a junior, but
he's tying the
this
braids
is
to a knot.
the culture.
My man.
So
I do that to the missus. It drives her crazy.
Access to capital has always been one of our greatest feats, I believe, and so it can cause a lot of people to bandwagon, I should say, on someone else's idea or funding source, and alrighty. Instead of
he's grabbing a headphone cord.
Yeah. Instead of us coming together and figuring out how to dominate a market, and I think that's again with Over a Cup. That's one of the things we wanted to discuss. I think maybe I gave the example on here, but we can go outside right now and go down the street and we see that Walgreens and CVS are across the street from one another. They're not worried about each other's profits because they know that there are sick people, that there are people who are needing just to quickly come in and out to get things, and they've figured out how to capitalize on it. And what we have to do as communities is knowing that there are many of us that are doing great things. We have to figure out now, how do we dominate and capitalize on that. When you hear of a business opportunity, you hear of a funding source or some marketing advice, share it with the next business. We have our African Americans now contribute $1.5 billion just on an annual basis. Well, no, up to $3 trillion, between $1 and $3 trillion annually, just in the United States alone. This is just our buying power. And so what if we concentrate that effort on supporting each other's businesses, and then also with that on educating ourselves, because a lot of times we're hustling. We're cooking, but we're cooking out of our kitchen. We're not trying to go the extra step in getting, a restaurant and getting the structure and getting the licenses. And so we have to invest in ourselves. So all of that is necessary. So the first thing we have to do is we have to share information. That's why Over a Cup is here. We have to be willing to share the information and realize if we understood wealth, we'll know that nobody can take anything from us. There's too much money out here.
And also on top of that, I think education is very important to learn how to operate. Because you mentioned the example of someone cooking out of their kitchen. Well, they know how to throw down on them pots and pans, but they may not know how to market or how to, get a building or any of the other things that come in setting up a business. And there's no or very few resources to teach them. And I'll use myself as an example of, I had a background in commercial radio, but because when we applied for this license, it had to be non-commercial. Not only did I have to learn about non-commercial radio, which means I had to do extensive research online. I also had to learn, how to set up and operate a nonprofit organization, and there was even less about that. So it's been a 4-year and counting, actually more than that if you count the time before we launched, education on how to run an organization. And so you're
going to continue to,
and of course
learn new things.
And of course you also have to be willing to do so, if for no other reason, just to stay efficient and on top of what you're doing, because it's a lot of work out there. Candace, do you have anything you would like to add to? You've been kind of a little silent over there. Even the baby has had more to say than you the past few minutes.
I would just encourage everyone to come out. Like Shunquetta said, if you have any reservations, just come just to listen. No one's going to put you on the spot. If you have any questions or anything, voice them with us, because we're only here to grow, right, to help each other. So we're always open for new ideas and looking to expand. We just came up with the idea with the Facebook group now. So you don't get that if you don't commune with other people and network. So.
Absolutely. Once again, it's Over a Cup monthly gathering, connecting minority women entrepreneurs, sharing business strategies, creating economic impact. This Saturday, January 26, 2019, 8 o'clock a.m. until 9 o'clock a.m. at the Starbucks on Southwest Drive. That's on the corner of Highland and Southwest Drive, right next to the McDonald's. They do this every fourth Saturday, and of course you can contact Shunquetta Cunningham if you need more information. It's 870-336-6771. Again, that phone number is 870-336-6771. These ladies would definitely be glad to see your face up in the place. And of course, I can do this over a cup. I won't tell you what kind of cup to get, but if you've ever been to Starbucks, you know that they have several flavors available. Gonna get ready to go into a break, and when we come back from break, we're going to talk about the nonprofit summit, and it's going to be definitely a lot of good tidbits and information there, and also great networking opportunities. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it there, and we'll be back with more. Don't you go anywhere. This is Kate, LEK, 102.5 FM.
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
How do you stay joined at the hip and heart with your teen? I'm Mark Merrill with today's Family Minute. Over the years, my wife Susan has taught me how to maintain a great relationship with each of our children. Here are a few lessons I've learned. First, don't take it personally. When my daughters became teens, I didn't understand. Why doesn't she want to hold my hand? Why would she rather go to the mall than go bike riding with me? Susan told me, don't take it personally and don't try to force anything. Give them some space. They'll come around. And they did. Second, always speak the truth, no matter what. Consistent truth-telling is key to staying connected relationally. For the rest of the ways to stay joined at the hip and heart with your teen, check out my blog at markmerrill.com. Remember, your family first.
Family Minute is made possible by the Kappa Nu Omega chapter of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization committed to service to all mankind. Kappa Nu Omega Alpha Kappa Alpha on Facebook and KNOMEGA1908.com.
Family Minute is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
Calling all women and minority business owners as well as the general public. KLEK 102.5 FM presents the 2019 Women and Minority Business Showcase, Saturday, February 16th from noon until 6 at Centennial Hall in the Arkansas State University Student Union. Live broadcast on KLEK and on Facebook. This is your opportunity to show what your business, church, or organization has to offer to the unique, diverse audience of KLEK listeners, supporters, and the Jonesboro community as a whole, or to just check out all the vendors in attendance. Vendor registration is $25, $50 if you sell items on site, and you can register at klekfm.org, but you must register by February 4th. Free admission to attend. The KLEK Women and Minority Business Showcase is sponsored by the Arkansas State University Office of Diversity and Community Engagement, Full Sun Gifts, and Bancorp South. This event is a KLEK fundraiser.
KLEK thanks CJ Pepper and the staff of Life Strategies Counseling Incorporated for helping people through hard times in life such as depression, family issues, stress, abuse, and more. They offer counseling and therapy for all ages, individuals, families, and groups. They are located at 1217 Stone Street. Phone number 1-866-972-1268 or online at lscihelp.com.
House of Details, located at 3915 East Highland in Jonesboro, is a proud supporter of KLEK, offering detailing on any type of vehicle: basic wash, hand wash, shampoo, interior cleaning, waxing, buffering, headlight restoration, pickup, delivery, and more, with the motto of anything mean we can clean. Details at 870-273-5187. House of Details on Facebook and at klekfm.org.
Hello, I'm Officer Jonathan Higgins of the Jonesboro Police Department. One of the best decisions I ever made was to join the Jonesboro Police Department. Since joining, I've had the pleasure to give back, protect, and serve my community. Now I want to let you know about that same opportunity. The Jonesboro Police Department will conduct testing for the patrol officers at the Valley View High School. Applications are available online at jonesboropolice.com. The Jonesboro Police Department offers a competitive salary, health, and retirement benefits, top-of-the-line training, and most importantly, the chance to make a difference in the Jonesboro community. Join me in making Jonesboro a better place. The Jonesboro Police Department is an equal opportunity employer, and women and minorities are especially encouraged to apply. More information, 870-935-5657.
Applications are being accepted. Applications are available at jonesboropolice.com.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And we're back on Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We are joined by our guest, Mrs. Shunquetta Cunningham of Caris Grants and Services. And now, for the second half of the program, we're going to talk about something else that she is involved with. And this is something else that she's been doing for quite a while. It is the 2019 edition of the Nonprofit Summit, and the theme is Moving Forward in Service. This is going to be March 8th, 2019, my mom's birthday, from 9 a.m.
awesome.
to 2:30 p.m. at the Arkansas State University Center for Economic Development. And I'm looking at the flyer here. It says, building stronger nonprofits to build stronger communities. And the registration information is consultcaris.com. And phone number is 870-336-6771. So, Shunquetta, let's go ahead and get right into it. So tell us what people can expect from the 2019 conference.
All righty. So this is year 3 of the 2019 nonprofit. Year 3 of the nonprofit summit. I'm proud to say that Caris Grants, we are the only nonprofit conference host in the Northeast Arkansas region. And I'm happy to say that because we have so many other workshops and things that go on, but none have been dedicated towards building nonprofits. So year 3, we are in full effect, moving forward in service. Every year I have a theme, and this year, and really speaking now toward what we're going on with the government shutdown, that no matter what is going on in communities, nonprofits, as well as I call them the first responders of service, because when things happen, such as now with the governmental shutdown, you have food banks that need to give out more items, and you have different community agencies now that have to are stepping in to pay utility bills and help with daycare costs of people that are, these essential federal workers that still have to work with no paycheck. And so when there are times of crises, the number one place that people look for immediate relief is nonprofits. So they have to continue to move forward. But to do that, you need the knowledge, you need strategies, and things are changing. And so we're going to have some great conversations, even with social media and fundraising. Now, along with sending mailings and calling people, you can easily now raise $10,000 just with the click of a button on social media. But we need to know how to do that. I want to know more of how to do that myself. So we're going to have an expert come in. She's going to speak about that. We're going to talk about changing tax laws. This administration has definitely changed a number of things, and how nonprofits and how what you can and cannot, take for expenses. Just some stuff that we just need to know. Again, not trying to just have things, but wanting to be business minded. You have a nonprofit, but you still have to be business minded in how you execute. So please register. Again, it's March 8th, 2019. We already have about, I think, 17, 18 registrants. The cap is 45. So if you are thinking about it, don't hesitate. Please register.
Okay. Let's kind of get back into something that you just mentioned earlier. I'm trying to get my thoughts. My mind just went blank there, so I'll come back to that. But you mentioned the government shutdown. Now, some nonprofits get a lot of government funding themselves. So from what you have observed, what have those organizations been doing to survive without having that crucial capital available to them?
Great question. I actually shared an article on my business Facebook page, CARES Grants and Services, about how just some of the things that nonprofits have to do. They have been receiving federal funds, and one of those things is looking to your local community foundations. Here we have the Credit County Community Foundation, and you can call, and if you're just in other areas, your local community foundation, to see if they're giving emergency grants. Those are some of the ways that they are trying to rebound. Also, they have a number of the organizations have kind of dipped into maybe a few months ahead just to sustain for the next couple of months. But, they're all in the same kind of space of what are we going to do, especially a lot of the drug programs around. There's organizations here that receive money for the drug programs. And all of that is up in limbo. So, connecting now to your local community, re-engaging your donor campaigns. Those are some of the things that they're doing to stay afloat and will continue to do. But it also just even now speaks to a larger picture that you should have a diversified stream of income. And that's why I encourage you all to come to the Nonprofit Summit, just like it works in your home. It's the same way with your organization. As KLEK proves, you have to have multiple ways of raising money. And
we're still
you
looking,
have to do that.
We're still looking for ways, so I definitely want to come back to that point of discussion in a moment.
Okay. Yeah, but that was just a wrap up. But just having different ways to sustain yourself is crucial, and I think the shutdown has really taught us that from a social standpoint and a personal standpoint as well. Okay,
now I remember my point. Now, one of the things that businesses, or not business, one of the things that outsiders struggle with is the whole concept of not seeing nonprofits as businesses. People think that nonprofit means no money. That when we have nonprofits that take in millions and even billions of dollars and have just as an elaborate corporate structure as your Fortune 500 company. You
have to.
But even I'll use us as an example. I've heard people say, well, y'all got a nonprofit, y'all got volunteers, but someone getting paid. I said, yeah, so Mr. Bill Collector, Mr. Landlord, Mr. Licensing Fees.
Yeah, I really regret, my husband said I have to stop using the word hate. I really regret how people think that you have to have a poor mentality or poor structure to be a nonprofit. That you can't see abundance in even running a nonprofit. Nothing is free.
Let me give you an example. St. Jude runs, it costs $2 million a day to run St. Jude.
Yeah. Well, too, I think we have to, again, the mindset shift when it comes down to local and grassroots nonprofits in the communities. we kind of, just like we do businesses, to where you want to patronize someone's business, and then like for myself, people will call me all the time, well, can you help me find a grant? This is my business, can I service you? Yes. And I think sometimes that's how it is with nonprofits, that if you come up, then you all should do everything for free, as if the money comes, just falls out the sky, and that's just not the case. When you are a nonprofit, you have to conduct yourself as a business, because it takes systems and strategies in order to sustain yourself. What you're 4+ years strong, those were intentional efforts of raising money with your tower. Just for an example, that was cultivating conversations. To get direct financing to your nonprofit. That the tower, it wasn't free. So you need money.
That was over a $26,000 project.
Yeah, you need money, and just one fundraiser alone isn't going to get it. So coming to the Nonprofit Summit on Friday, March 8th, 2019, you're going to be able to have these discussions. We also have a CEO roundtable. Last year, that was a great success, to where you will be the speaker. And what I mean by that, we divided the executive leaders and community members and board members, all that were present, about 5-6 different groups, and they had intentional conversations between themselves about, basically what is it in the life of a nonprofit leader, and how do you grow? Can you share some best practices? And it was so great that I actually had to cut off my presentation, but that was okay, just because they wanted to carry on that conversation. So you're going to get to have opportunities like that, and free lunch. So
who's catering lunch?
I don't know. I haven't found a vendor yet.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think one thing to add to the CEO discussion is how to avoid CEO burnout.
Oh, that's real. That's even for an entrepreneur.
Well, it's my life, so and that's why I brought it up.
Well, you need passion. Passion gets you to start your nonprofit, gets you to start your business. But people and productivity and systems is what keeps it going. So burnout is so real. I think, just as an encouragement to you, what I've had to do within the last year myself, even look, you hear my baby's actually crying in the next room, is that just always coming back to, this is the purpose, this is why I am here, if not now, when. And so I have to tell myself that I am, I'm called to do this. So you just have to keep going, and then getting the right team around you, that's also a big help, and God has blessed me with some great people.
And when you mention building that right team, that is so important. I speak from my own experience. You have to have a team that believes in the organization, because you are asking people to give their time, even though I don't know what the current figure is now, but they said our volunteer time is somewhere, we just said somewhere around the $20 mark, give or take $1 or so.
Yeah, I think it's between $22 and $26. I should know this, because sometimes I have to do this for grants, but it's like $22 or $26 an hour, and really, which is what most people in our region don't even make an hour. So that just tells you how much they value volunteers. And so, you need great people. I have great people that's helping me plan the summit, as always, that have been with me since year one. And you can't do it alone. You definitely can't do it alone. So, and we're going to talk about that too, as well as how to build your board. Going back to the conversation we had off camera, you have an excellent board, to where people don't understand that when you start a nonprofit, you have to have your board members first. No filing the paperwork without board members. Just give that free tip.
Well, and of course, in our example, it was required because we had to put that on the FCC application. They wanted to know who they are.
But you'll be surprised how many people start a nonprofit, no board members, and then come to me. And that's just not how it works. So you have to have a board, and then you have to have it beyond your family members. That's another free tip, as well. And then they have to be willing to accept the fiscal and program oversight of your organization, meaning that if a nonprofit comes here and you have 10 board members and then you only have $20 in the bank, that's alarming, because every board member should be contributing something, which should be in your bylaws. So that's just some tidbit information. But you can call me, of course,
and of course,
I'd be happy to help you.
And of course, again, to the importance of, having that board member information up front. Like in our example again, this was information that the FCC wanted because, the main thing they was interested in is vetting these members to ensure that nobody that was involved in illegal radioactivity operating a pirate radio station or anyone that's been, involved in any kind of litigation, that's been involved with a radio station. So So, it was important to vet them as well. So again, like Shunquetta said, it is important to have them to believe in the vision because especially when you're in the formative phase of your nonprofit, when you're still, you're always going to be forever trying to sell the vision, but when you're really trying to sell it to get it off the ground running, you're going to need those people. And of course, boards are going to evolve over time. You may have your initial board that can help you, but then once you've gotten established and people see that what you're doing, and I'm just using this for example, then you may take on different board members who are more connected in the community. That can
resources
that can tap into those networks and resources to help facilitate more growth for the organization.
Yeah, we give some nonprofit advice, but that's all what the nonprofit summit is just coming together and learning about this. Again, you have a nonprofit, but a nonprofit is also a business. You have to have the right team. You have to figure out the type of leader you are. We're going to have a great speaker, Mr. Mike Harris. He is actually a leadership expert, an HR expert, and so he does these profiles of what type of leader you are, what type of listener you are, and he'll be helping the nonprofit directors there, just again trying to figure out how do you move your organization forward. And it starts with knowing who you are. I know people will say that, I know who I am. No, I learned something myself just 2 weeks ago. That's why I first heard him about the type of leader I am, the type of people that I need to have around me, and also the type of listener that I am. I'm working on that because I always have the ideas in my head and I want to get them out. But then it tells you, he helps you understand just about how to, again, center your ideas. And so it's going to be great. I just encourage you all to come out. This is not exclusive to any group. This nonprofit, we have from hospital directors to board members to community volunteers to staff workers, everyone. If you are interested in working with a nonprofit and supporting a nonprofit,
or starting one,
yes, this is definitely an opportunity for you to come out and be with other community leaders, and then bring your business cards and then network. It's a learning moment. Don't ever go to an event and you do not have your business cards.
And I've been guilty of not doing it sometimes myself. It is the 2019 Nonprofit Summit, Moving Forward in Service. It's going to be March 8th, 2019, from 9 o'clock a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Arkansas State University Center for Economic Development. And you can register on the website consultcaris.com. Phone number 870-336-6771. Again, the phone number is 870-336-6771. We are speaking with Mrs. Shunquetta Cunningham, the founder and owner of Caris Grants and Services, the organization that is putting this conference together. So what are some of the workshops that are going to be planned for the conference?
So I've already expressed that we're going to talk about social media and fundraising, about the changing tax laws, leadership development. I myself will be conducting a narrative workshop. We're going to talk about grant writing, how to tell your story. Again, only just kind of focusing on the narrative. Really, when you're writing a grant is telling your story with current data, but a lot of people don't know how to tell their story in the back end to win hearts. And that's what it is. There's a different writing style when you're writing foundation grants. That's grants to like Walmart and Target and Rockefeller, organizations like that. And then when you're writing to like the Department of Transportation, different language. But nonetheless, you have to be able to communicate their story. So I'll be sharing their workshop as well. We have Mr. Matthew Knight. Many of you probably know him. Here with Mid-South, who is an excellent, he just gets you going to where if you're in that crux of not knowing how you're needing to move forward, just needing to the affirmation of that why you're doing what you're doing, why you're leading. Oh my word, he is just excellent, and he's going to close out again because he's closed out every year because he's the most highly requested speaker, even above myself.
He's definitely making an impact.
Oh yeah, I love him. So he will be closing out our session. So yeah, I'm just it's going to be great. Please register. Again, we're already halfway there with registration. We do have a cap. We thought about opening it up. We had 48 registrants last year, but I like the intimate setting. I think you get more, so we decided to cap it at 45 this year. So if you are interested, please register. And early bird registration ends on February 8th.
All right, so get those registrations in. Yes. Now, how has the conference grown from year to year? What are some of the lessons that you learned from the past conferences to help make this one better?
Oh, we don't have that much time, but
well, we got minute 55, so
I will say
we should ride out with that.
I will. Some of the first year efforts, I had a way bigger venue. I end up we had some great speakers, but after I didn't assess what our community really needed, so I was giving topics that I wanted them to hear about. And so just learning those nuggets, as well as opening it up more to where I didn't kind of like market it, I think, in a way that made people feel like it was some value in coming. And so now, where I have people, already signing up. We just opened up registration because, again, with the baby, I've been kind of behind with some stuff, and we're already halfway there. And so just getting that buy-in. So those are some of the big lessons learned. And I'm sure I have some from this year as well. So, and I'm always willing to accept growth so it can, be better. But just a lot of it was just knowing what this community really needed. And I can see that from nonprofits, knowing who is doing what is needed, because sometimes you want to start a nonprofit and duplicate a service when you already have something going on. Mm-hmm. So, and again, I know that everyone has a voice and everyone has a passion, but I encourage nonprofits, as I did with myself, to see with this summit, was it relevant? Was it necessary? So if you're thinking about starting a nonprofit, make sure that you have your needs assessment there, that you know that it's needed, that that people will be on board, and people will be receptive of what you're doing as far as the buy-in, and that means supporting. All of that works well, and that was some lessons that I learned. And so again, happy now that we're here at this point.
Absolutely. We're speaking with Mrs. Shunquetta Cunningham of Caris Grants and Services, talking about the 2019 Nonprofit Summit, moving forward in service, March 8th, 2019, from 9 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Arkansas State University Center for Economic Development. Registration is at consultcaris.com. Early registration ends February, you said the 8th, right?
Yes, but we can still register up until, but it's just a special rate up until February 8th.
Right,
after that, the price goes up.
All right. Get on in. We'll be back. This is KLEK.
Right,
You're listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM. We'll be right back.
We're back with Money Matters. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. Overall, the general population is still shying away from investing in the stock market. More than half of the survey respondents say they do not invest. The top reason cited for staying out of the stock market is not having enough money, followed by not knowing enough about stocks to invest. Other lesser deterrents include stocks are too risky and not trusting stockbrokers or advisors. Regardless of your age or income, it's important that you understand that the stock market allows for major financial gains if you start early. Although there's always some risk involved, building a portfolio at an early age allows for compound interest to grow and produce ample savings over time. Starting early and investing consistently, even small amounts, will help you to fund long-term goals, especially retirement. I'm Alfred Edmond Jr. for Money Matters, a product of American Urban Radio Networks.
Money Matters is made possible by the Jonesboro Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, a nonprofit organization focused on joy in our sisterhood, power in our voice, and service in our hearts. www.jonesboroalumnidst.org.
Money Matters is brought to you by Bancorp South, offering checking, savings, loans, credit cards, and wealth management. 5 locations in Jonesboro to serve you. www.bancorpsouth.com or 870-972-9800.
Money Matters is brought to you by the Gears Foundation, a nonprofit organization providing students with assistance in their academic and career pursuits. Gears Foundation on Facebook, Gears_Inc. on Instagram, and the Gears Foundation at gmail.com.
Calling all women and minority business owners as well as the general public. KLEK 102.5 FM presents the 2019 Women and Minority Business Showcase, Saturday, February 16th from noon until 6 at Centennial Hall in the Arkansas State University Student Union. Live broadcast on KLEK and on Facebook. This is your opportunity to show what your business, church, or organization has to offer to the unique, diverse audience of KLEK listeners, supporters, and the Jonesboro community as a whole, or to just check out all the vendors in attendance. Vendor registration is $25, $50 if you sell items on site, and you can register at klekfm.org, but you must register by February 4th. Free admission to attend. The KLEK Women and Minority Business Showcase is sponsored by the Arkansas State University Office of Diversity and Community Engagement, Full Sun Gifts, and Bancorp South. This event is a KLEK fundraiser.
Stark's Auto Plaza at 2829 Red Wolf Boulevard is a proud KLEK supporter, offering luxury pre-owned vehicles sold wholesale to the public. At Stark's, we never say no. 870-203-9980. Details at starksautoplaza.com.
Edgy Studios, 209 Union Street in Jonesboro, offers photography for portraits, weddings, and engagements, senior portraits, family and maternity shoots, and all occasions. Edgy Studios focuses on photography that is unique and outside of the norm. Owner Andrew Daly is available at 870-243-0308 or www.ejjistudios.com.
The McDaniel Law Firm, 400 South Main Street in Jonesboro, is a firm believer in justice and equality for the minority community. The McDaniel Law Firm has fought for our rights for over 44 years. The McDaniel Law Firm offers legal help for wrongful death as well as trucking and automobile accidents. Bobby and Brett McDaniel are available for a free consultation at 870-336-4747 or at www.mcdaniellawyers.com. Check out Melvin Williams of the Williams Brothers every Sunday morning from 5 to 7 a.m. here on KLEK for the Melvin Williams Down Home Gospel Radio Show, playing the very best in quartet and inspirational gospel music that you'll love, as well as feature interviews with all of your favorite gospel artists. It's Melvin Williams Down Home Gospel Radio Show, Sundays from 5 to 7 a.m. on KLEK 102.5 FM.
The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated was established on January 1st, 1977, originally serving Blytheville, Arkansas, and now serving Jonesboro, Blytheville, Osceola, Marion, and West Memphis, Arkansas. Today, the chapter continues to make an impact by focusing on Alpha's national community outreach initiatives such as My Brother's Keeper, A Voteless People is a Hopeless People, Go to High School, Go to College, Project Alpha, Boy Scouts, and the March of Dimes. The Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is committed to Alpha's mission of developing leaders, promoting brotherhood and academic excellence, while providing service and advocacy to the community. More information about the Mu Omicron Lambda chapter of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated is available at MOL Alphas on Facebook or via email at molalphas@gmail.com.
KLEK is starting a new fundraiser which will allow listeners to donate to KLEK while buying groceries. KLEK is a part of the Kroger Community Rewards fundraising program. When shoppers visit a participating Kroger and scan his or her Kroger Plus Shoppers card, a portion of the savings goes back to KLEK to help keep it on the air. Details on how to sign up for the program are available at KrogerCommunityRewards.com and at KLEKFM.org. This is a KLEK fundraiser.
And now back to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM.
And we're back on Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, where we are talking with our guests, Mrs. Shunquetta Cunningham and Mrs. Candace Brooks. Just wrapping up our discussion about Over a Cup and the 2019 Nonprofit Summit. So, is there anything that you would like to get out to the listeners that we did not cover?
Well, just a few moments with Over a Cup. Again, we have Miss Candace Brooks, who will be partnering with me on creating a directory of women minority entrepreneurs in the community. So whether you are involved or not with the Over a Cup,
and again,
we want you to send the
copy of that
information.
directory.
Yes. Okay. Yes, we want you to send the information to us. I think it's great to know, like, hey, I want to know someone who does T-shirt designs. We have so much talent within our community. That's the whole point. I want to patronize as many businesses as I can, putting, and investing back into my very own community. So many other, as we can see, Asian groups have their markets. We have, Middle Easterners have their market in certain areas, and so we just need to dominate our market, and we honestly have so many. So if you have that information, Candace, you want to tell them a good email to send it to as well?
Yes, you can send it to Candace, CANDENCEM Brooks @gmail.com, and we'll also get that Facebook page up in the next couple of weeks. It'll be a closed group, but we'll also have it to where you can join and you'll be able to submit your information that way as well.
All right, absolutely.
Yeah, so that's one of the biggest things for this year. And then if there are other conversation topics, on Saturday we will actually talk about I watched this I went to a workshop, and I learned about the art of Googling yourself to directly influence what comes up first about yourself, and so what you want to be out there. I mean, just tidbits like that as business-minded people that we have to think about. We don't, maybe don't want a fraternity party photo from, back in the day to be the first thing to pop up. So just even doing that. So we're going to talk about that as well. Just, again, some little tidbits. Over a Cup this Saturday, 8 a.m. I know people say, why so early? As you can see, now y'all hear Junior's back. We have lives, and it's best to get out the house. Because once we get back in the house, it's all family time. So,
and shout out, and of course, Sanford the Fourth is our first ever baby to be on the show, a guest on the show.
Yes, shout him out. He is special. This is an anointed child.
There you go.
And then don't forget, if you're interested in Nonprofit Summit, that is March 8th, 2019. And let me tell you why it's good to have people in your corner. I have been floating around this flyer for the past week or two now, and Candace caught it that it still said 2018. You see why you need people, and be willing to accept, like, when you're wrong or you need some help. That's what we're here for. That's the type of relationships we're building. So it's good to have those people in your corner.
All right, absolutely. We've got 2.5 minutes, so again, let's anything else that you want to get out there?
Can't think of anything else.
Y'all know I can talk. I always have conversation.
Well, go for it.
Register. I can't express it enough. Learning is, you will never cease to learn. And I probably should wrap it up because Junior said he has something to say, as y'all can hear.
Translate.
So he's saying to help his mommy needs money to buy diapers.
What's your Cash App if somebody wants to donate?
You know what? I'm not a true millennial. I don't have Cash App.
Cash App? Girl,
you see that?
But actually, on a serious note, several nonprofits, including KLEK, by the way, Cash App $ KLEK FM. But several nonprofits are actually getting and accepting donations via Cash App. So
what? I'm still with PayPal. Okay,
we got the PayPal too.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to have to give me a Cash App. But you know what? But you can register via PayPal for the Nonprofit Summit.
But seriously, get the Cash App because
Cash App
really,
because people can just pay that registration fee on there. It's just easy for me.
Okay.
Just 2 or 3 clicks, boom, there you go. You got it. I
Okay.
mean, we even get paid from our sponsors via Cash App. I'm just
You
saying.
could be having a conversation at the gas station or the grocery store, and they say, "Oh, you know what? I need to go home." No, you have Cash
Now,
App here. Let me give
do
you.
not.
Okay.
But unfortunately, some people use Cash App for nefarious purposes. People that solicit activities that we can't discuss on the radio, but we're gonna leave that alone.
Really? I haven't looked into that, but if y'all two say it's good, you know about my hesitation with Cash App is because it was catching on so well, and I'm one of those people. It must be too good
Well,
to
Cash
do.
App was actually created by Square.
You know? Oh, really? Okay.
So and I'm sure everybody remembers the little white square readers that you would swipe your card. Well, I think Cash App have pretty much rendered that obsolete now, because I don't hardly ever see those little readers anymore.
Yeah, well, Junior is saying, and again, I know he's the 4th, but we call him Junior, but he's saying, please register and encourage one another, support one another, and I hope to see y'all Saturday at 8 a.m.
All right, you guys have a great day. This is KLEK 102.5 FM.
Thank you for listening to Community Conversations on KLEK 102.5 FM, a program focusing on the people working to make the Jonesboro community a better place while offering viewpoints from all sides of the issues. The views expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of KLEK 102.5 FM, the